Perhaps the greatest honor a teacher can receive is to learn that one of their students plans to follow in their footsteps and become a teacher themselves. And while that's likely the path this next senior will take, it's not really a surprise to anyone who knows her. It's a role she's already been in, and will especially continue this year. In this episode of Senior Spotlight, we travel to Roosevelt High School, where one senior has already been leading and teaching by example in every aspect of her life. In between physics,
the center of gravity, again, has not made its way past the support base,
and pre-calculus classes,
there's no asymptotes in the sine function. There are like tangent, that will change.
You can find Roosevelt senior Madisyn Waltman here in a geometry class, helping other students with their work.
This semester I'm peer tutoring a geometry class, and I'm also peer tutoring the adaptive PE class with the RISE kids. Last semester I did student mentoring out at Hayward Elementary in a second grade classroom, and I also did peer tutoring for a Spanish 2 class. So I just really think those are rewarding classes, because if I want to be a teacher someday, it's really good to know how the classroom works and just to see kind of how teachers teach and do what they do every day, and to figure out if that's something that I really want to do. Yeah, I've decided I'm going to major in education. I'm debating on whether it's going to be elementary or high school, but I know that from student mentoring last semester at Hayward, I really enjoyed that. So I think that's the path I'm going to take. I think it's more rewarding for me to help people learn and grow as a person, rather than to be sitting in an office all day and not having direct contact with people. And I know I love working with kids, so I feel like that would be a good fit for me, and I could see myself in that kind of environment every day.
In preparation for college and beyond, she's not only taking classes and helping other students, she's also heavily involved in the school.
So, like this morning I had a senior class officer meeting, so what that is we plan prom and get graduation ready for all the seniors and things like that. I do Best Buddies, which is a program with our RISE kids where we just kind of hang out and do activities with them, and there's like little groups for that. I do Writer Reading Buddies during Ad Rooms, where we go with some of the students who English is their second language, and we just read books and help them pronounce words and get the flow of English and reading down. I do Link Crew, which is like orientation for freshmen. I do Student Ambassadors. I did that my sophomore year with students from out of town joining Roosevelt. I also do Cancer Awareness Club, Harry Potter Club. I just started Adventure Club. We'll see how that goes.
Added to a full load of classes, that alone would be a lot, but it's just the start. She's leading the Roosevelt girls basketball team this year, not as a senior, as the senior.
We're a very, very young team. Madisyn is the only senior on the team, and so there's been a lot of burden for leadership and things like that that have kind of fallen on her. And you know, it was one of those things that last year we had 6 seniors, and so Madisyn was our only junior last year, and so it was one of those deals where she, from a basketball perspective, she didn't have to necessarily be the leader for us before, where she stepped into the role this year, and she kind of has realized that's what she needed to do, and she's done a phenomenal job with that. But yeah, we have a very young team. It's been a really kind of up and down year, but Madisyn's kind of been our steady constant all year. You know what you're going to get from her every single day. She's going to bring tremendous effort every single day. She's going to bring a really positive, great attitude, no excuses, things like that, and just going to be really, really solid every day. And honestly, I think she's had a great year for us. I think she's exceeded probably even her own expectations with what she's been able to do. Not necessarily, I mean, in pretty much all aspects of the game, defensively, offensively, she's just been really, really solid for us.
Well, we've had a little bit of a rough season. We're a young team, so I think we knew going in it was going to be a learning year for us and a chance to grow, and we've definitely done that. We've come together, I feel like, as a team, figured some things out, but I know we're looking forward to our game this weekend, getting to the Sweet 16 and making some improvements there. So I know they expect me to lead the team, definitely, and sometimes it's hard being the only one, and you feel like there's a lot of negative energy going around, but they expect me to be the one to step up and be positive and be a role model to the younger girls, especially knowing next year they're going to be, some of the juniors are going to be leading the team. So I really just look to lead by example on the court and off the court.
That alone can lead to a lot of pressure and a fair share of good-natured ribbing from her teammates.
I know a lot of them call me mom, and sometimes I can be like, hey, pick your socks up off the floor, or like, make sure you pick up your trash, but I think it's natural for me to be like that, being the only senior, and I hope they appreciate it. I think they do, but it's fun to be in that kind of role. We've
got some great underclassmen that also will take on leadership roles and things like that, but you know, with her, it's not I don't ever think it's a huge rah-rah, things like that, and she's more than capable of that, and there have been a few times where I've been sitting in my office and she's in the locker room with the girls and she's getting after them a little bit about some of those kinds of things. But as much as anything, I just think it's just a solid consistency every single day. You know you're going to get her absolute best effort. You know that she's going to check anything she has going on in life at the door, and she's going to be 100% locked in and engaged to what you're doing. And I think that just is so huge for our culture, so huge for all of our underclassmen to be able to really see that and understand that success it's not like something that just flips a switch and you have it. It's something that you've got to bring your lunch pail to work every day and just really focus on the details and the little things. And over time, understand that that's how success happens. It's not something that just happens by the snap of your fingers and you change one thing and it's done. It's something that you've got to do the work every single day.
As soon as the basketball season ends this year, the golf season begins, where once again, Madison will be leading from the top.
Golf is in the spring. It'll happen a little bit, about a month after basketball gets done. We'll try to start getting outside, but the weather is usually pretty bad in the spring, so it depends on how much snow we have. So I'll be the only senior on the golf team. We'll have one junior and I think three sophomores, maybe 4 sophomores. I guess it depends on how everybody has been doing in the off season, but we placed 4th last year at state, so it was a really positive year for us. So I think we really look forward to going in and placing higher, because I think we have the opportunity to do that with some of the scores we had last year.
Leading the basketball and golf teams at Roosevelt this year actually come after and around her true passion, which we haven't even discussed yet: the sport she'll continue to play at college next year.
So I'm playing soccer at the University of Mary next year in Bismarck, North Dakota. I'm a goalie, so I look forward to making an impact there and using my skills and really growing as a player. I actually was recruited this past summer at our regional soccer tournament here in town that we had, and I knew the grad assistant there. She used to be a goalie at Augie, and I remember watching her play actually when I was younger, so she kind of reached out to me and I got in contact with the coach. I had a visit up there and I really enjoyed it and just thought about it, and it seemed like the right place for me.
We had a good season. It didn't go as well as we wanted. I think we always have really high expectations, and with that being said, it wasn't bad. It's just that our expectations of ourselves were so high. We got halfway through the season and you know, felt a little bit down and defeated, and if you go look back at the record, we'd only lost 2 games. But that's just the type of team, the type of girls they are. It still wasn't good enough. The two losses weren't losses that we should have had. It should have been undefeated. And even though they were wins or ties, it didn't feel like we were playing the best that we could. And that's one thing that's great about this bunch, is that they could still tie a game or maybe barely win a game, and if they didn't play their best, or they know they should have, you know, beat a team by a lot more, they'll feel down and they'll feel defeated. But I love that part about them too, that good isn't good enough, and they want to win, and a tie isn't good enough, because for some people a tie is, but not for this group. Madison is just a born leader. I haven't known Madison since she was little, but I have a feeling, being around soccer and just sports and kids this long, that she has always been that way, and that's just kind of Madison, to take charge, take lead. And she's very good at it. She leads by example, and she also is a vocal leader, and Madison is somebody that when I need something done, I'll just shoot Madison a text, or Madison, hey, we need this. And sure enough, this many girls show up for this fundraising event or community service. She's just one of those kids that you need something done and she'll get it done, and she'll take charge. She connects with a bunch of different types of players on our team. You know, this is hard, this is high school, these are girls, there's cliques. They all don't get along like best friends, and Madison has the ability to kind of connect with everyone. and command respect. Everyone respects Madison, and that's huge in a leader. You can be a leader and, you know, you can be a captain, and if nobody follows you, no one believes what you're doing, then it's really no good. But Madison is a leader by example. She's good in the classroom. She really backs up what she's saying. She walks the talk for sure, and just a good kid, really good kid.
And that says nothing about her organizational skills. In addition to playing on Roosevelt's soccer, basketball, and golf teams, she continues playing for Dakota Alliance nearly year-round, which often means...
So I'll go from after school, I'll go right to film, and we'll watch film for a game the next day or scout the players. And then we'll go down to practice. And I think today we'll probably be done about 6, but then I have to go to soccer practice tonight at 9:30 to 10:30. So I stay busy. I try to get some food and homework done in between. Sometimes in the spring, if I'm having a golf meet during the school day and we have practice at like 7 o'clock, I come right from the golf meet. So we've been outside from basically 9 a.m. to about 5 playing golf, and I'll go right from the meet to practice.
Or even playing a full basketball game, then rushing to a 90-minute soccer game that starts afterward.
For her and for all of us as a coaching staff, we weren't quite sure what to expect, not only from our team, but even more so just from her, because even she's played for me for the last 3 years. She played as a sophomore for us and as a junior last year, but it wasn't extended minutes and things like that. And right now it feels like I don't ever want to take her off the floor. She's playing almost the entire game every single night, and that's just a tribute to her work ethic. You know, I think it's really easy, particularly in big schools like this, for if a kid maybe doesn't see early success in a high school sport, if they go the last 2 years and they're getting in a little bit and getting a little bit of varsity, it's really easy, especially for her, a kid like her, where she's going to go to college to play soccer, to say, well, maybe I'm just going to focus on soccer and not do the basketball stuff. But I just want to commend her on her continued effort and put forth, and I think she's reaping the benefits of that this year. And she's just had a really great year, outstanding year for us, and I'm hoping that we can finish it off strong for her.
And it's one thing to you know, be a multi-sport athlete, and kind of maybe one is you're strong and the other two are you just do it to keep in shape. But like with Madison, she has 3 very strong. She's strong in all 3. Which is awesome, and she puts as much hard work into all 3 of them. She might be better at one or love one more, but you wouldn't know that unless you talk to her and know that, you know, maybe her heart is a little stronger for soccer. But if you didn't know that and you watched her play basketball, watched her play golf, you would think that she is the top in all 3, and she loves it, and she's dedicated, committed. There's no weight to one or the other, and she's been able to do 3 sports all 4 years and keep her grades up, and so that's very awesome. It's very encouraged, and it just speaks that much more about her.
And she still makes time for what's important in her life.
Like outside of school, I just like to, I'm involved in my church. I do a religious education class. I teach that. You know, I've definitely grown up in the church ever since I was little. I can always remember Sunday, my parents getting us up and going to church, so much so that it just became the normal thing to do. Like, we didn't go to church. That was unnatural for me. And I think being there and really growing up in that kind of atmosphere has kind of shaped me into hopefully the leader I am today. And I know that being in our religious education program and taking classes from a little kid all the way up till confirmation sophomore year, and then going into small groups, and then going into leading a small group, it just has felt like a really natural progression for me. And I really liked growing into that kind of opportunity.
It's safe to say that this senior mom of so many teams at Roosevelt will be taking charge of the new adventures she's about to begin.
She is excelling so much at the high school level and is already very mature for a senior. She's going to go into college, and I don't think she'll take very long to get her feet wet. A lot of freshmen going in kind of sit back and find their place. I don't see Madison doing that. She's going to go in and she's going to be a leader as a freshman. And being a goalkeeper, you're already kind of a leader just by nature of the game and how much you have to talk during the game, and you have vision of the whole field. So you really are the leader in the game, and Madison will pick up right where she left off. I think a lot of people are going to respect her on her new team, from upperclassmen to freshmen coming in. She's gonna jump right in. I know that's what she'll do, and that will help her excel very quickly.
And leaving a lasting legacy at Roosevelt for the leaders who come after her.
She's just a phenomenal kid in every aspect, her character, all of those kinds of things. But I mean, she's involved in pretty much everything. Now I say that, and I don't know if she's missed like a basketball open gym, workout, anything like that in the 3 years that I've been here. And so it's one of those things that sometimes I think I forget that she's involved in so much because she's never gone from any of our stuff. But I can see it just even in the hallways. I see her walking past she's got one period that kind of overlaps by where my room is, and I see her walking past with, it feels like different people all the time, and it feels like she knows everybody and gets along with everybody. And so I think that's a tribute to being a part of golf, basketball, soccer, obviously, and then just being a great kid. And so I don't have anything but great things to say about her character and her work ethic. And I know for a fact that she's prepared herself to have success in any venture that she goes in life, just because of what kind of a hard worker she is. Then also because of what a great teammate she is, and I think that leads to a lot of success in life. You got to be able to, you got to know how hard you got to work every day, and you've got to be able to communicate and work with others well. And I know that she does those things very well.
The one thing I would just say is that it's a real honor to play with a Roosevelt jersey on, whether it be basketball or soccer or football or anything. So when you do step on the court, or when you do step on the field with your teammates, like to really honor it and to not take it for granted, because eventually everybody's gonna be done playing sports and you're only gonna have the memories of it. So to live in the moment and enjoy being with your teammates and playing the game is what I would say is most important.
Hold on, another three. Waltman, that's good. Cuts the deficit to 1.
Madison's basketball season certainly isn't over, and golf is still to come. To see her and her teammates in action, visit the Roosevelt page of the Sioux Falls School District's website and click on the calendar.